Hey guys, welcome back to another Setnix video. Today's video is all about Apple's iOS 12. Apple recently has released some of the cool new features of its upcoming operating system for the iPhones and iPads. In this video we'll look some top 10 iOS 12 features that Apple has built for its customers. Without wasting more time, let's get straight into the video. Well, the first feature is all about performance. With the new iOS 12, Apple is speeding up all older devices way back to iPhone 5S and iPad Air. This new feature increases speed up to 70% faster swipe to camera, up to 50% faster keyboard and up to twice as faster app launch under heavy workload. Here's the demo.
For iOS 12, we are doubling down on performance. We're working top to bottom, making improvements to make your device faster and more responsive. And because we want these changes to be available to the full range of our customers, iOS 12 will be available on all the same devices as iOS 11. This is the largest base ever supported by an Apple release. And we're focusing our efforts especially on the oldest devices. And while it's still early days, we're really pleased with some of the results we're seeing. And so I'd like to share some with you. And I'm going to use an example of a popular phone from a few years ago. This is the iPhone 6 Plus. Now on that device, iOS 12 delivers a number of improvements across common operations. You'll see that apps launch up to 40% faster. The keyboard can come up to 50% faster, and you can slide to take a photo at up to 70% faster. Now, our deepest focus this year is optimizing the system when it's under load, and that's where you need performance the most and where iOS 12 really shines. Now, we've put iOS 12 through our stress test, and we saw in those conditions Share Sheet coming up twice as fast and apps launching twice as fast. These are big, big improvements. Now, this took changes, thank you very much. This took improvements in many, many places in the system, and I want to highlight just one, and it starts with the silicon. You know, our tight collaboration with our chip team has enabled us to optimize iOS across the full range of our A-series silicon. Now, CPUs traditionally respond to increased demand for performance by slowly ramping up their clock speed. Well, now in iOS 12, we're much smarter. When we detect that you need a burst of performance, like when you begin scrolling or launching an app, we ramp up processor performance instantly to its highest states, delivering high performance, and then ramp it down just as fast to preserve battery life. Now, these are just some of the improvements.
Next, FaceTime now supports video and audio with up to 32 people at once. You can start group FaceTime directly from a group thread in Messages or join in active one at any time. Check it out.
That's Memoji and some fun new effects in the camera and Messages. Next, let's talk about FaceTime. Yeah. FaceTime is the way that so many of us connect with the people in our lives and share some of our most important moments. And it's helped us deepen our connection with people important to us wherever they are. And of course, it's a fun place just to hang out. Now, this year, FaceTime is going to take a big leap forward because today we're introducing Group FaceTime. Now, you'll be able to FaceTime with 2 people, 3 people, actually up to 32 simultaneous participants. Now, setting up a group call couldn't be easier. Just instead of typing one person's name, you can do many. You can ring them by tapping audio or video. But we also introduced a great new way because FaceTime is now integrated into Messages. So you can quickly go from a group chat you have going directly in to a group FaceTime. And members of the group can join in and drop out at any time.
Memoji. So, now you can create an emoji for yourself to match your personality and mood. Here's it.
That's right. With Memoji, you can create your very own personalized Animoji. Now, these Animoji can look like you or the real you. And we've worked hard to build a deep set of customization options to let our customers create an incredibly diverse set of Memoji. It's really incredible what you can create. And we've designed a beautiful new experience to create these Memoji that makes the process fun and easy. Now, to tell you more about it,
the next feature sounds really amazing and surely going to be useful for everyone. It's screen time. It is a new feature that helps give you a better understanding of the time you and your kids spend using apps, visiting websites, and on your devices overall. Check it out.
Now, in addition to these great features for helping you limit distractions, we wanted to go further. And it's with a feature we call Screen Time. Screen Time empowers you with both insight and control over how you spend your time. And it starts with reports. Every week, you get a weekly activity summary that details how you used your iPhone or iPad. You tap in, and you get to view your full activity report. It's really detailed. You get deep insight on how much time you're spending, where you're spending it, and even how your use breaks down during the day or the night. You get a summary of the time you're spending in apps, how much time you're spending, how often per hour you're picking up your phone and what's drawing you in, and what apps are sending you the most notifications. Now, equipped with this insight, you can make decisions about how much time you want to spend with your device each day. But we know there are people who would like a little extra help in managing their use of apps. And for them, we've created app limits. So if in your activity report, you see an app where you might want to be spending a little bit less time, well, you can set your own limit. And then during the day, when you're using the app, you'll receive a helpful notification letting you know time is almost up. And once you've reached your limit, instead of the app, you'll see this. It's time to move on. Now, we'll let you grant yourself an extension if you want, but we'll give you a reminder later to move along. Now, this is also in sync across your iPhone and iPad, so your limits apply to your total usage. And we think this is going to be helpful for many people, but especially for some kids. And we know this is something that can help families achieve the right balance for them. And of course, it starts with providing your kids with great information so they get an activity report of their own. But as a parent, you get one as well on your device. And based on what you see, you have the option of creating allowances. And now, you have many options. One of them is downtime, time when you want your kids to unplug altogether, for instance, at bedtime. And you can also limit your kids' time in apps by category or by individual app. Now, there's some apps you may want to always allow them to use. For instance, you may want them to be able to get at the phone at all times so they can contact you. Or you may want to give them access to educational apps. And you can also limit access to only movies.
Next feature is group notifications. It allows you to easily take control of your notifications. It groups all the notifications from one source to make it easier for you to read them. Here it is.
So I'm thrilled to announce that we're bringing to iOS support for grouped notifications. Notifications are grouped not just by app, but also by topic and thread. It gives you a great overview of the notifications you've received. You can tap in and look at a particular group, but of course, just as important, with a single swipe, you can triage a whole group of notifications away. So that's notifications.
Next is photo search. This is a new smarter way to search for photos. Even before you start typing, you'll see suggestions for recent events, people, and places. Watch this.
Starts with search. Search has powerful object and scene recognition. It lets you search for photos based on things like searching for cars, or dogs, or flowers, and it's a great way to explore your library. But in iOS 12, search now starts working for you even before you start typing with search suggestions. It'll highlight things for you like key moments and people that are important to you, places where you've taken some great photos, and even categories of photos like hiking and water sports. And search is much more powerful than ever. You can search for places by business name. So you could search for SF MoMA or even a broad category like museum. And Photos indexes over 4 million events by time and place, things like sporting events and concerts. And so you can search for them and find photos you took at those events. And search is super powerful. You can now search for multiple.
Apple has also done a massive overhaul to the Books app. It's no longer called iBooks. It's renamed as Apple Books. It has an all-new design that makes it easier for you to discover and read your favorite books.
12, we're introducing an all-new design. And we think the update is so great, we're calling it Apple Books, a new name. Very dramatic. We dropped the I. Apple Books has some great new features. For example, Reading Now, with a preview that makes it really easy for you to pick up reading right where you left off. And there's so much more, including a stunning new store that makes browsing through your ebooks and audiobooks better.
There's a completely redesigned Stocks app. The new Stocks app helps you keep track of the market with charts and live stock quotes. And for the first time ever, it's available on iPad as well as iPhone.
So that's news. Now, we've completely rebuilt the Stocks app, and it's got a beautiful new design. Of course, you can still see the stock prices and the changes at a glance, but we've added spark lines, those little charts, that show the stock performance throughout the day. And that's cool, but are you ready? We are so excited to announce we're bringing Apple News to Stocks. I'm really excited about that. And the top stories in Stocks features business news, right? Curated by the Apple News editors. It's pretty terrific. You can tap on any stock to get a more detailed view, so you can see an interactive chart that now includes after-hours pricing. And you see relevant headlines from Apple News curated by our Apple News editors. So it looks great. And if you tap on one of those headlines, you'll see the full article without leaving the app. And of course, it's formatted to look gorgeous.
Messaging is made more interesting with new animojis. Choose from 4 new animoji: koala, tiger, ghost, or T-Rex to inject some fun into your next messages thread or FaceTime call on iPhone X.
Like ghost, koala, tiger, and T-Rex.
Finally, Do Not Disturb is a new feature to help you filter your notifications at sleep time. Turn on Do Not Disturb and forget about it. iOS 12 gives you more ways to manage your notifications than ever, but there are times when you don't want to be disrupted by any alerts, messages or calls at all. So now you can set Do Not Disturb just for a meeting or while you're at a location, and it will automatically turn off as soon as your event ends or you leave that place.
You're confronted with something like this. Barrage of notifications that spin you up and keep you from falling back asleep. And so we're introducing Do Not Disturb during bedtime, where all you'll see is this, nothing to get you spun up. And in the morning,
Thank you for watching this video. Hit like and subscribe for more interesting videos. Please share this video if you like it. Till then, bye and have great time. Cheers.